Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Madisonville Marine. Folks, they are going to be coming to Knoxville for the East Tennessee Fishing Show. That's the end of the month, January 25th through the 28th. That's the Expo Center out on Merchants Drive. They also, right now, and leading into that show, they also have rebates, get this, of $1,000 and up on select models of G3 boats, Suncatcher pontoons, Skeeter boats, Sweetwater Godfrey pontoons, Stingray boats, and Hurricane deck boats. Rebates of $1,000 and up on select models of all of those brands of boats. There's a reason I keep telling you there's no better place to buy a boat than Madisonville Marine. All right, some football questions here for you. I'm going to start, Ryan and Jimmy, you get the first one. Last week, John Kelly announced he was leaving. This week, Rashawn Golden announces he is leaving for the NFL. Golden, I don't think there's much argument that he was your best defender this year on the team. And John Kelly, one of your best offensive players. There's a lot of positivity and optimism right now, but should that be slowed a little due to these two departures? Or no, it's not a big deal?
At least a little bit. I mean, to me, these departures weren't big surprises. I thought Golden in particular was leaning toward leaving coming out of the season, but it's still a big deal because Golden, maybe your best defensive player coming out last season. John Kelly, obviously, maybe your best offensive player. So it hurts, and on a team that's maybe going to be expected to win 6 or 7 games, definitely takes away from their chances of even doing more than that.
So that's where I was going to go. If your thought was Tennessee could win 6 or 7, this hurts. You can't take your best defensive player. Now, the secondary was improved a year ago. I think those numbers are skewed a little bit because teams ran so easily on Tennessee they didn't have to throw. But Golden's a really good player. Kelly's a good player. So I think it might put the brakes a little bit on, can Tennessee win 8? Because I've heard some of that. But you can't lose your two of your best players off an 0-8 SEC team and expect to come back and win at an 8 or 9 win level, which is
8-0. All I'm hearing is the SEC East is wide open, baby. It's wide open. You get real coaching of this team, the talent that's over there?
Third place is wide open.
Simple. All right. Josh and Mike, next one for you. Josh, you don't have your Raiders cup on the desk. I thought you would.
I had security to watch it while we're doing the show.
Got it. John Gruden back with the Oakland Raiders. All it took was a 10-year contract of $100 million. See, it would not take that much to get the guy. All right, does that underscore? I know the two of you. You didn't think that Gruden was coming here, even despite the reports of it's a done deal. Certain boosters flew down there and they arm wrestled the Haslams and threw Curry out of the way, and they had it set up if you two hadn't blown it. Does this underscore the idea that Tennessee was never going to get John Gruden if he's holding out for 10 years, $100 million, or does that just prove Tennessee blew it? He would have come here for less.
Maybe Tennessee's having him go to the Raiders, go back there to coach to prove that he still has it in him.
To get reacquainted with the game.
Before he gets another shot. I never really thought that John Gruden was going to be Tennessee's coach. I think he always had a strong eye toward either his old stops, Oakland and Tampa, and both potentially could have been open. Tampa kept their coach, but I think Oakland is where he was going to end up if they wanted him.
To me, it's not so much the money. It's the NFL. I think we all knew if he went back to coaching, he was going to the NFL. That was his preference, and surprise, he's going to the NFL.
But Tennessee was not going to offer him or anyone else 10 years, $100 million, I don't believe. And I don't think they could have, because if you have to fire someone in the middle of that, good luck hiring the next coach. Well, we can pay you $25. I mean, you bankrupt the school doing that. I know that Alabama's doing it. They're doing it with a guy who's been proven to win national championships down there. John Gruden, not prudent.
And Tennessee's already got a share of buyouts.
Yes, and more on the way. Will anyone declare this is the end of groomers forever and all time? I will not.
No. Because in 5 years, if something happens at Tennessee, then Gruden's name will come up again.
Oh, yeah. He's looking to get out of the NFL. Yeah. No offense. He will have failed
Well, John, after you win a few Super Bowls.
Yeah. He'll be ready for a new challenge.
Right, yeah.
All right. Philip Fulmer, we got some video here of the thing if you didn't see it. He put out a 5-minute video on January 1st, which was dubbed a State of the Program address. It was positive. It touched on everything from academic success to football, both basketball teams, non-revenue sports. Pure PR move. It was based in research because they talk about how it's about trust, it's about integrity. There we go. Warmth. That's a research word. Warmth, integrity, and all these other. So anyway, There you go, communication. It was a pure PR move, and I thought it was genius. I thought it was great. Thought they did a terrific job in this. Does anybody here think I'm wrong? Were there any negatives to be taken from this? I just thought from a fan base that feels left out, and clearly after this last search with the revolt and everything, they feel like they don't have a say. Now we're saying thank you. And Philip Fulmer put out a tweet last night after the Kentucky game where he went on, what a great game. Fans were spectacular. Students were great. Team was prepared. Event management staff was good. It's the kind of attaboys that gives everybody from the fans to the event management staff a little lift. From a PR perspective, I think he's acing it. Am I missing anything? Are there any potential negatives in these pronouncements he's making?
Not in the short,
silence tells me everybody agrees.
Yeah, not at all in the short term, and I think the timing's perfect. It's the start of the new year, and you're talking about coming together, all those words that you just saw. And Tennessee fans saw Philip Fulmer on the Jumbotron during the basketball game in the second half, and the place lit up when they saw Philip Fulmer. So fans are re-energized by what's going on right now.
And that's not the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
That they have erupted when he's been on the Jumbotron.
You know, John Curry, I'll give him credit. He started his monthly newsletter to fans and that kind of thing, which was a good move, and certainly what Philip Fulmer did follows up very strongly on that.
Yeah, and I think some of the communication, some of that stuff, I think that was not only a message to the fan base. I think part of that was also a message to people inside the athletic department, because that was one thing. When you talk to people over there, those who had a problem with John Curry, they felt like he was up there in his ivory tower, never telling anybody else what he had in mind or what the future of the program was. So I think that message that Philip Fulmer's sending that fans want to hear, he's also sending that to people inside the building, I think, which is smart, and I think that's anyway. I think from the get-go, and this will all change after the first loss from Jeremy Pruitt, but I think from the get-go, he's killing it on the PR front right now. Got to give him credit.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, we are going to unveil the Great Wall of Hoops. Mark Pankratz is going to walk you through Tennessee's path to the tournament. Worst case scenario, and then when you're looking at Tennessee's schedule and you're watching these games, get off the roller coaster and look big picture. We're going to do that next. Come on back.